Golden Shoals playing live today in Studio B. Welcome. What's your first song?
We're going to start with a song called Live Easy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I got a wandering eye and a heart to match. A pair of brown boots too hard to catch, 'cause I bought a new bike. It goes real fast, faster than the city's eating all my cash. But I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, even if it makes me broke. I got people in places low and high. They're standing in my corner and they're getting me by. And I've got a man, he'll never be mine. He wants to stay friends and I can't decide. But I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, even if my heart gets broke. I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Ain't nothing gonna get me down. I'm gonna leave my troubles and worries behind. Paint a new coat on the town. I got whiskey in my pocket and the band is hot. Two-stepping at the Double Crown. Oh, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Ain't nothing gonna get me down. I got the old-time fever in a really bad way. Got me picking and a grinning and wasting my days. And this place has a way of wearing, so they say. The weather's getting warmer, so I think I'll stay. And I'm gonna live easy and have a good time, even if it wears my soul. I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Ain't nothing gonna get me down. I'm gonna leave my troubles and worries behind. Paint a new coat on the town. I got whiskey in my pocket and the band is hot. Two-stepping at the Double Crown. Oh, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Ain't nothing gonna get me down. All right there, Marky. Chevy tank is full of gas and I'm fixing on splitting when I pack my bags. I got an itch and I know the open road can scratch. Ain't no telling if I ever come back, but I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. It doesn't matter where I go. I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Ain't nothing gonna get me down. I'm gonna leave my troubles and worries behind. Paint a new coat on the town. I got whiskey in my pocket and the band is hot. Two-stepping at the Double Crown. Oh, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Ain't nothing gonna get me down. I got whiskey in my pocket and the band is hot. Two-stepping at the Double Crown. Oh, I'm gonna live easy and have a good time. Ain't nothing gonna get me, nothing gonna get me, nothing gonna get me. All right.
All right, indeed. Golden Shoals.
Yeah.
Live today in Studio V in a song called Live Easy. So is that like a credo? Is that the Golden Shoals manifesto?
Yeah, actually that's got a bit of Asheville history in it. I mean, Mark and I were sort of basing out of Asheville, North Carolina. This was like the spring of 2017. We were sort of like in the springs and falls for a few years. We'd kind of land in Asheville and find sublets and hang out for a couple months, go to local fiddlers conventions and play a few gigs in town and jam with people. And right when we landed there was, let's just say there was a boy I was excited about or I wanted to see about, and it didn't quite work out. And that's where the idea of this song came from, where it's like, you know what? There was just like charged with this excitement of moving to a new town. Anything was possible. And it even features my favorite bar in West Asheville called the Double Crown. In fact, I'm even wearing their tank top today. We actually went yesterday for Western Wednesdays. They had a band playing outside, so we were hanging out and catching up with some friends.
Yeah, nice to get back on the old hometown. It's kind of interesting because y'all have lived, it seems like, all over the place. Mark, you were just saying you're in Vancouver now. That seems to fit musically. You're kind of like all over the place, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Amy's originally from the West Coast. And I'm originally from the East Coast, and now Amy's in Nashville, which is not the East Coast, but east of the Mississippi at least, and I'm on the West Coast, and that's kind of one of the reasons we picked the name Golden Shoals, actually, is because, like, we have coastal origins. A shoal is kind of a coastal geographic feature. But I moved up to Vancouver just a week before we started this tour.
For convenience, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, my partner is Canadian, and so we've been together for a while and going back and forth across the border a lot. And the pandemic brought a lot of people together. Some people moved in, some people split up, and we moved in.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you lived in Boston for a while. You mentioned Nashville and Vancouver, all these places. All of those, oddly, I don't know, they all sort of have like an old-time scene or community.
Absolutely.
In it. Is that part of why you, or is that just purely coincidental?
Yeah, I mean, so Mark and I met up in Boston, I guess 13 years ago. Facebook reminded us we've been friends for 13 years. But yeah, Mark and I met at, these parties where we were both getting into old time and bluegrass music, and we were classmates, and then we became roommates in this big musician house, and then we eventually became bandmates. We've been playing together since 2013, but something that was really important for both of us is just like we really wanted to go to these different fiddlers conventions all around the country. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so cool is like you meet people. It's like a very small but widespread niche community. So it's like if you play old time music, I mean, we were just in Alaska in July, playing and teaching at a festival up there, and like we had two friends that we knew from Alaska that helped us get the gig, but then also they just set up a jam session our last night in town, and now we're kind of like plugged into the scene in Fairbanks, and that's what's really cool about playing this sort of music. I mean, it's about getting people together. So
I wonder, do you find nuances change as you move from one region to another? Like the Alaska old time scene has got to be really different than Western North Carolina.
Yeah, they have their kind of little differences. Like in Fairbanks, Alaska, if you go to an old time session, like they play tune after tune after tune. They'll chat for like a minute or two, and then they're into the next tune. If you go to a fiddlers convention around here, oftentimes people will just yak on for like 10 or 20 minutes between tunes.
Yeah, I mean, so many people in Alaska, it's like they're busy, like, they spend most of the week at their mining camp that they had to like raft down 10 miles of a river. Like life is so extreme there. So it's like when they're coming to play tunes, they're going to play tunes. And
that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff. Golden Shoals is the name of the band, and we're talking about old time music, but I know you, and I should mention too, some of you may remember Hoot and Holler, which was the band name until a couple years ago or something like that.
January 1st, 2020, we changed our band name. Just in time for the pandemic.
Well, and at that, it's great timing, right?
Yeah.
But you also changed a little bit sort of your musical approach, and it has obviously broadened beyond old time music now.
Yeah, we always did a lot of original material, but the album that we released last year features a lot of different sonic landscapes as well. I played a lot of electric guitar on it, and we had bass and drums on several tracks, and we really love this album, self-titled Golden Shoals, because it's got some of that kind of classic, traditional acoustic stuff on it, but then it's also got kind of more, modern isn't the right word, but it's got some electric stuff as well. And I think it all kind of weaves together really well.
And, something we would talk about, we had to change our name for various reasons. But one of the things was that Hoot and Holler, that name was starting to become kind of limiting, like it's like you hear that band name and you have a certain idea in your mind of what that should sound like, and obviously our tastes and our songwriting were expanding, and that's been one of the really cool things about Golden Shoals is that it evokes a really pleasant image, but we get to define what that sounds like.
Yeah, I can totally understand. Hoot and Holler has certain connotations, doesn't it? So
yeah.
Golden Shoals, I should mention Amy Alvey is on fiddle, about to be on fiddle and guitar and vocals, and Mark Kiliansky, did I get it right?
Nailed it.